Hi, I'm Jason Blake, and welcome to this episode of PI Newswatch. I'm here with Jamie Fierwenza, the CT Director for Denver County District Number 1. Jamie, we caught up a couple months ago at our district meeting, and we were talking about the challenges with education. I'd like to talk a little bit about how the career and technical field has changed in the last 10 years. I know the workforce challenge is a big buzzword, but what steps are your districts taking to help industries like ours?
Yes, I've seen even within the 10 years for sure, but even farther back than that, it has really been a
Yeah,
roller coaster in career and technical education. Um, Back in the day when we called career education vocational education, it had
right.
a bad stigma among it, and it was known as the school or the education where we sent students who we did not believe were going to make it in college. And because of that stigma, it actually started to fail. And this is where we lost a lot of that workforce readiness and a lot of those folks um, that we were sending to get that training. And so we had a large gap in that workforce because of that. And so this really big push in education was to everybody was going to college. We were sending this really big this push of we're going to send everyone to college, and college is for everyone. And there wasn't a lot of career and technical education for a long time. And then it revitalized itself through the Perkins Act, and we really did a big push in revitalization and called it career and technical education and really rebranded it. And then it became something more than just trades. It really became something for all sorts of different types of education, including trades. And we really brought it back to life. And that is where we are finding that it is more rigorous. We're finding it more hands-on. We're finding it very project-based, and it has become revitalized. It has become something for everyone. We have found it to be very useful, and we have found it to be more engaging for our students. And students are really excited about the hands-on learning. Students find value in the fact that they are seeing themselves in the workforce. They're finding value in the fact that they're not just sitting in a classroom learning language arts and math. They're finding value in the fact that they're learning language arts and math in a hands-on
Mhm.
experience of career and being able to find that place of that language arts and math in their future. And I think that's where they're really excited about the newfound career and technical education.
Yeah, Jamie, I agree with you. I've seen a lot of changes in the last 10 years. Jamie, when we were talking, you talked a lot about the funding of the Perkins Act and how our members can utilize this funding. And is this something we can work together, our industry, our association, and your school district?
Absolutely. So Perkins is federal dollars. Each district is usually allotted X number of those federal dollars, and that depends on various things. And then the state actually gets an allotted amount, which then trickles down to each district, and that is depending on
Yeah.
district size and various amounts of that. The way that we do it in Denver Public Schools is that our schools are allowed to write up projects, and they apply for dollars to our district or central office.
Okay.
And what they would want to do is they find where they may have areas where they need to have growth in their particular programs. And they would work with those industry partners in their advisory committees or where they have partnerships outside of their classrooms. And they would work on where they need to grow. And that's where these industry partners would really come into value. And they could say, we may need this new piece of equipment that would really help to train the students to become industry ready. And that's where the industry partners can inform the schools and help them to apply for this piece of equipment through Perkins dollars. Then the schools could write for that application and then be able to utilize those Perkins dollars for that piece of equipment. So that's just one example.
Great, Jamie. We talked about advisory councils and how the role they play when working with our industry and our association and your school district. Can you talk a little bit about those advisory councils and how they work? and how we can get involved in them?
Yes, that's just one way. We have, as a requirement of the state, we have to hold 2 advisory councils per year. That is just one piece of that program approval that is a requirement. But there are many other ways that industries can partner. We have internships, we have guest
Yeah,
lecturers, we have mentorship programs. There's a lot of ways that industries can partnership with our schools. But yes, advisory councils is a small way that we can help to inform each other, because we learn just as much from you as you can from us. All right. We're helping to
right, right,
fuel your
yeah.
workforce, and we need to learn what your needs are so that we can help fuel your workforce and help to train the students for what your needs are as well.
All right, that's great feedback, Jamie. What I'm hearing us discuss is it's time for our members to get engaged and start working on helping you recruit for that next generation of workforce. Do you agree?
Sure. And
So
there's so many times that, we do a lot of cold calling where maybe the teachers or the district may reach out to partners, or we see a business on the side of the road and we may go over there and like,
yeah,
hey, hi, we work for a school district and we're really looking for partners. But sometimes it's the people behind the scenes that we don't even know that you're
yeah,
out there. And so we really encourage partnerships to reach out to us as well, because there's so many people out there that we don't even know where or how to begin to bridge that gap. And so it is kind of a two-way street for lack
right.
of a better term, where sometimes we don't even know where to start. But yeah, we try to get in contact with some people, but we encourage you to come see us as well.
Thank you. That's really good for them to hear that. As we chatted before, and you're aware of this, that PI is working on a work-based learning program and credential for high school students. In your opinion, what is the best way to roll out that program throughout districts like yours and other districts?
And credentials are highly sought after in the high school realm. In Denver, we try to have every single one of our pathways or our programs for career and tech ed to end in a credential. We want students to be set up for success before they graduate. We want them to have some sort of a post-secondary entity, whether or not that's a degree or an industry credential, so that they're set up for going right into the workforce or continuing to stack into post-secondary college credit or et cetera. And so that is really, really important to us. And so I am assuming that would be important to other, school districts across the nation. And so I think that the way that to start that is really to find out in each district what their needs are, what they're trying to do in their districts. Every district is slightly different, the needs of the students and
Right.
where they're trying to set their students up for success. Small districts are very different than large districts, and where the students are trying to accomplish and what they're trying to accomplish before graduation. So I think those are some conversations that really require a sit down meeting and trying to figure out what their goals are.
That's good advice. We'll have to take that into consideration. Let's move on a little bit. In your opinion, what is the most crucial skills or competencies that students need to develop and excel in these technical careers, or how do we foster that development in teaching to get them engaged?
I have been in schools for a long time, and one of the things that has not changed in the 17 years that I've been in the district is communication. Students, I have to work with students on communication from day one to now. That is one thing that is lacking in our teenagers, and I feel like that's one thing that has been an ask from industries every single
Yeah.
year I've been here, is we have got to develop communication skills from our kiddos. They tend to rely so heavily on being able to text, and we have to figure out a way to really get them to have the communication skills. So that's something that I try to embed in a lot of our curriculum, regardless of whether or not it's computer science versus trades versus medical degrees. Anything that you can think of, we try to work on some of those 21st century skills, soft skills, whatever you want to call them. Some of those
Right,
words
right.
are outdated now, but we really try to work on those things. As far as the hands-on skills, I really think that is industry dependent. I think that
Okay.
we really try to make sure that they can problem solve. We want them to be able to critically think through any task that they can work on. We want them to be able to step back take a look at what's in front of them, and then be able to slowly work through that problem a little bit at a time. Because I think that it is critical that they're able to think through and critically think through a problem to be able to solve it. If they can do that, I think that they can be employable anywhere.
Well, this has been wonderful, Jamie, catching up with you. And I'm just going to throw out a little challenge to our membership to get involved, particularly in the Denver schools area. Reach out to Jamie and get to engage with her. And you'll find that you'll get some really great talent from that part of the country. Jamie, thanks again for your time. I'm Jason Blake, and thank you so much for watching PEI Newswatch.